Hey everyone, welcome back to the continuation of this slow descent into madness, also known as the Eureka Loot Guide series. Today we're covering Pagos, also known as the zone where 70% of people quit Eureka forever. Did I briefly consider skipping straight to Pyros and pretending Pagos never existed? Sure, but hey, the drops are kinda neat, so let's take a look at those while we suppress the memories of trying to get to level 35 in here without sustaining permanent psychological damage. Pagos has 8 unique loot items that drop from specific fate bosses. As always, you'll need to be within 1 elemental level of the fate and contribute enough to hit at least silver rating to qualify for loot. Or just spam looking for group, please invite, and hope someone else does 99% of the work while you sneak in at the last second like a loot goblin. First up is the Yukinko card from the level 20 fate, the Snow Queen. This fate loves to take forever to spawn for absolutely no good reason. This is a pretty standard triple Triad card, ice theme, pretty artwork, also pretty rare because of course it is. Someone at Square Enix looked at this card and said, yes, this should drop once every 300 fates, because that's balanced. Second, we've got the Optical hat from the level 25 fate boss, Hakutaku. It's a 100% guaranteed drop as long as you've got a Hakutaku cluster on hand and manage to snag a gold rating in the fate. Simple, right? This item is a nod to Final Fantasy XI and proudly holds the title of most expensive piece of functionally useless gear in all of Eureka. It's commonly mistaken for best in slot by those who still believe that pull time should exist, but in reality, since it has 0 elemental bonus, you shouldn't use it. So, by the time you've sunken deep enough into your Eureka addiction to actually farm, or let's be honest, buy a Hakutaku cluster, the only thing this hat is good for is glam. A glamorous reminder of poor financial decisions. Third is the Blitz ring, dropped from the level 29 fate boss, King Arthro. Fun fact, this item was a replacement item for the speed belt, which was introduced after Square Enix decided we no longer needed to dedicate an item slot specifically for holding up our pants. Another fun fact, they decided to flag this item as unique, meaning if you're wearing one as a best in slot item for the haste bonus that they give, you can't farm a second one to sell for a huge amount of gil on the market board. You have to leave it in your saddlebag or retainer outside of Eureka. Yay, fun. But hey, it's not the worst thing you'll suffer in Pagos. That's the leveling, or the virtual seasonal affective disorder. Items 4 and 5 are the Behemoth horn and the Behemoth pelt, dropped by Hadhayosh, the level 32 fate boss. The Expedition Liaison has a selection of 7 different rewards in exchange for 5 horns, and the pelt can upgrade 2 of those helms. You can also craft this wall trophy with 4 horns plus some other ingredients if you need more Eureka in your home. Despite the fact that the pelts and wall trophy sell for 6 to 7 figures, I don't think I've ever seen anyone farming this fate for drops in the last 7 years, but you will see people hopping around on their behemoth mounts near the fate circle instead of pulling trash to prep it when lightning weather is coming up. So that's neat. Item 6 is the Cassie earring, drops from the level 35 fate Copycat Cassie. And when I say dropped, I mean that in the most sarcastic, air quotey way possible. This thing technically can drop in the same way you technically can win the lottery if you just keep trying for 500 straight years and sell your soul to RNGesus. Realistically, you'll farm this fate hundreds of times, slowly lose your sanity, and then end up doing what everyone else does, buying it off the market board for 20 million gil, all so that you can complete your best in slot Eureka set for that plus 3 haste bonus. Don't ask me how I know this. Just don't. Item 7 is the Louhi card, dropped from the level 35 fate boss, Louhi. He's the zone's capstone fate, so realistically, if you're farming for the next item to complete a couple of relics, you'll come across this as a byproduct of that process. Once you've used the first one to unlock it in your deck, you can turn the duplicates in for less than 1% of what they give you when you complete the fashion report in 5 minutes at the end of the week. Balanced and appropriately incentivized. And finally, item 8 is Louhi's Ice, a crafting item used for the relic process in this zone. You'll need a gold rating on this fate, 2.5 times per relic, which is Square Enix's fun way of extinguishing the last bit of warmth out of your soul. So, if you want them all, you'll be here a while unless you utilize the super secret trading mechanism to convert crystals to ice, thereby distributing your mandatory suffering more evenly throughout the zone. So, that's the 8 unique loot items you can farm from Eureka Pagos. Lockboxes are up next, and trust me, those will also be full of disappointment, but like shiny disappointment. Thanks for watching, and remember, in Pagos, the real reward is tricking your friends into coming here by telling them it's really not that bad, or it's way more fun once you get to Pyros. See you guys out there.